On this edition of Spotlight On, we're talking Hank Williams, the Civil War, dyeing our hair, and producing films with Will Beinbrink next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All right, you're playing some Hank Williams. There's a reason why you're playing Hank Williams. I saw the lights. There is a total reason. I am your host, James Lott Jr. here on AFTERBUZZ TV Spotlight On, and we have an actor and producer to spotlight today. My guest is the definition of a working actor. Yes, he is. He is currently co-stars in the Hank Williams biopic, I Saw the Light, that opened in certain cities this last weekend, but we're opening nationwide April 1st, I believe.
April 1st,
April 1st. He plays manager Jim Denny, so that's pretty good. He also has an upcoming film, The Free State of Jones, Carter in June, and Manhattan Nocturne, which he also marked his producing debut. So now he's producing too. It's crazy. He's tall, he's handsome, he's funny. Will Beinbrink.
What a nice introduction.
They actually gave you some applause. So I'm gonna take these off for now.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna join you. Yes, I'm gonna join you. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Here's what's funny. So when I did your posted your picture last week, all my girlfriends were like, "Oh my God, who's that hottie? Who's that hottie? Who is he?" I'm like, we're going to talk about his craft. We're going to talk about the craft of acting. We're not going to focus on, he's a character actor. And then he walked through the door, I was like, oh, he is kind of hot.
Well, thank you.
How's that?
I'll take that as a compliment.
It's like great smile. It's like great smile.
Oh, yeah, you did say that the first time.
I did when I first came in.
Yeah.
So do you like being a character actor, like going in and just like changing it all up?
I find it more fun.
Yeah.
I find it more interesting. I find it more exciting, more scary. Yeah. So I do.
So no vanity kind of, like I know some actors have kind of vain, like I want to look like the best I can on screen.
Yeah, no, I definitely have that aspect too, for sure.
Yes.
But, you know, that's what I think got me into the whole business of acting anyway, was just doing characters or feeling like getting lost in something that is bigger than you. And the other way, it always feels like it's just me. And, that's always been a little, it's more uncomfortable and then at the same time more comfortable, if that makes any sense.
It kind of makes sense, yes.
So I don't know, and that's just the way so far my, I guess, career's gone so far. And it feels like it's leading to more interesting roles as I continue to get older, which is something I'm very grateful for.
I know, it's because this business can be very ageist.
Yes.
You know, and focus heavily on looks.
Yeah. And And fortunately, I feel like I am a fairly handsome guy. I can thank my mother and father for that.
Thanks, parents.
Thanks, parents.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, and you know, I do really think, I do believe in training, or, you know, going to a good acting school or doing that type of work. I do really believe that does put people at a different caliber in terms of the skills that they have and the ability to say, do a piece like a period piece like 1940s and then jump to a comedy where you have blonde hair and then go to something in the future or something with different language.
Yeah.
You know, or different requirements, or theater where you're doing like rhyming couplet plays, you know, like, so that's also the stuff as an actor that I find exciting.
I would think that's what an actor wants to do anyway. You're a nomad, you're kind of nomadic, and you want to like not be yourself.
Yeah.
You want to be other people, obviously, right? No, I know, but I know actors who are like, no, I kind of want to be close to who I am. Like, well, no, I mean, in a way, don't you want to be other people and inhabit other stories?
One time I did a play, what's it called, Tempest.
Oh, Tempest,
and I played Prospero, which is normally a 60-year-old guy. I was like 25 doing it. But, you know, just being able to play a duke, or I don't even remember if it's a duke or not.
Yeah, I can't either,
Basically the guy.
Yeah.
During the 1400s or 1500s, and having that whole world and learning all about that's what I love about acting. And, you know, like the first day I got to set, I met Tom, and he was a sweetheart. And I was in the makeup chair getting my hair cut. I think they were like trimming my burns, you know.
Oh, how funny.
You know, making them shorter.
Yes.
And, I'm just sitting there in the mirror going, oh man, my hair's getting short. And then I hear like, Jim Denny from across the trailer, like in the makeup trailer, and it's Tom Hiddleston yelling at my name, and I'm like, huh? And I'm like, oh,
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And then he walks up and we have this great conversation. He's like, "Man, I saw your tape. The I
wow.
hope you don't mind. The director gave it to me, or he shared it with me.
Yeah.
Saying how excited he was about this guy he cast for Jim Denny." And it was like such a great way to meet him.
And you're playing his manager. You're playing Hank's manager. So you kind of have to bond on some level.
So he started that great step forward in terms of a relationship that, you know, hopefully comes off on camera. And then, you know, that night we had to shoot like in a day or something. I went over to his house and we worked for several hours on that scene.
Wow.
And he gave me a lot of research materials that he'd already compiled or had because of the months he'd been preparing. So he gave me like this book that Colin Escott, who the movie's kind of based on this book, this biography. So I read that. And he gave me, you know, he was just a sweetheart. Yeah. Just a cool dude.
Well, it's funny because I interviewed Denise Gossett last week, who also plays his mother-in-law in the film, and said the same thing. She was impressed because I know there was a little bit of talk when first he got cast because he's not American.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, you guys know who we're talking about, plays Loki in the big, you know, Thor movies and stuff.
Yeah.
He's known for other things, and he's British, right? He's
British, yeah.
So, but then Denise said once she saw him and heard him, it was just like, he's Hank Williams. Like, he even looks like him.
Yeah, no, he's very, he's got, with the hat on, the whole angle, the nose, the face. It's a dead ringer.
And so you guys did most of your scenes with him?
Yeah, they were all improv. No, I'm kidding.
Writers? What are writers?
What are writers?
I'm such a great improviser, so that's great.
Tom and I would just make stuff up and then be like, cut, love it.
Like, it works. It works. It totally works. Yes. But you guys did. I said most of your scenes were together, so obviously.
Yeah, no, I think I'm in like 5 scenes, and my main 2 scenes are basically dealing with him and his bad behavior, being the rock star that he is. Hank Williams, not, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, basically, hey, come on, bud, get your shit. Excuse me.
Oh, oops. Oh well. Oops. You know, like, it's crap together.
Get your crap together.
Yes.
You know, and like, show up.
I heard he sings all the songs himself too.
He does. Yeah.
It's crazy. He has a great voice.
Yeah, he worked with this dude named Rodney Crowell, who's like
another country. He was a country star at some point. But I know he's producing and stuff.
So he lived with him, I guess, for a couple months, and they, you know, tried to really get him locked in a way where he could just imbibe it or just be it.
Would you ever want to be a manager of a rock star? After doing this film, could you like
hell to the no?
Yeah, exactly. I would think, no.
Hell to the no.
I'm sure you learned a lot on this set just about the dynamics.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being like a rock star's best friend, especially maybe back in the 80s. Like Motley Crue or something.
I saw them back in the 80s. I remember what happened off stage. Yes.
Yeah, that could sound like a good circus to be a part of.
My sister and I used to hang out with Warrant.
Oh, really?
And rest in peace, Jenny Lane. We used to hang out with them, and I saw a lot of stuff back in the 80s. Of course, I was innocent, and I knew nothing. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, that whole 80s, those rock bands were just, they were I don't think their groups like it's just not like that.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. I can't even think of that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that it's not like that.
I think the 80s probably were the last part of the decadence, probably. Yeah, in terms of that kind of like that excess. I mean, like even Kiss today, I'm sure is way tame than it was. Like, you know.
Oh yeah, I think they're too old now to be like. I mean, unless they're popping.
Don't tell that to what's his name, Paul Stanley or Gene Simmons. They'll cut you.
Maybe just pop the blue and rock on. But that's exhausting too, though.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
So I mean, you want to be in your 20s playing that game.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like magic because now you produced a film, co-produced a film. So saying that's managing, producing. That's a big deal.
Well, I'm an associate producer on it, and I did it with my friend, this friend of mine, Brian DQ Bellis. He directed it, and he also wrote it. And I'm learning what I like to tell stories, and I like stories that I feel like I resonate with. Or
this is Manhattan Nocturnes. Make sure to say that the film
that are important to me. Yeah. And so I want to do more of that. And I'm and I like the creative aspect of producing. I'm finding that is more where I feel like all the time I've been reading scripts or acting kind of lays. Yeah. It's a natural transition, or a way where my skill set can easily be used in a beneficial way.
And how was it with other actors being a producer? Because you're an actor yourself. So you felt like you were a better producer because you knew how to...
No, literally, I fortunately worked just with Brian.
Oh,
I met a
okay.
couple of the other producers at like lunch or something, but it was just creatively with Brian.
And what is one big thing you learned from him?
From Brian?
Yes.
I would say he's so positive and so, and not in a way like, I'm positive.
Oh my God, I love life and everything's great. Yeah.
But just like really present and positive in a way we'll get it done and confident without being like arrogant. Just just like we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Something comes up. All right, cool. We'll figure out a way around it. Just always moving forward. And he produced this movie in very quick record time within a few years from when he had it to when he got it made. It was a very short time compared to most people. I think it's like 8 or 10 years or whatever. He did it in a couple of years.
Wow. People don't know that a lot at home. You guys at home, a lot of times a lot of films are in pre-production, and developmental hell.
Forever.
I mean, forever. So when you see something comes out, whether it's a small film or a large one, you don't know this backstory.
Yeah.
How many times it's changed hands, changed names, changed stories. I mean, it's a really big. So if you said he did it in a few years, that's really good, actually.
Yeah,
in Hollywood.
It's huge, and he's got. So we're I don't know what his next project is yet, but we're talking about doing something together, and we'll see what capacity that ends up being, whether it's me just as an actor or I'm a producer on the next project as well. Who knows?
When you meet somebody and you work well with them, you got to hold on to them, don't you?
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like wherever I'll come in, I'll do janitor duties, whatever. Like you just want to hold on to them, like because in this town is who you know on some level.
Yeah.
And you want to work with people you like, right?
And as you get older, it's like your time seems to get less and less available to you. So it becomes more and more about who you want to work with because. Especially if they're like dear friends of yours, you want to be able to hang with them and work with them.
Yes, that's very true.
Especially if they got a girlfriend or a wife and all that, then that takes up even more of their time.
That's very true. As I get older, and I won't tell you guys how old I am. No, I'm close to 50.
What?
I am actually. I'm a grandfather of 3. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, you are.
It's crazy.
You have aged
it's my mother.
well, my friend.
Think about parents. My mother, love you. Good genes. No, but it's one of those things where me too. I have collaborations too, and it's usually with people that we have a good time at the same time. We're getting work done, but we're creating something great. But we're also having a great time. Yeah. And the memories are being created at the same time. Yeah. When you're young, you don't think about that so much when you're younger. Like when you first started doing acting, you probably didn't think about that. So you just wanted to get the job, didn't you? When you first started?
Yeah. It was all ego based, really.
When did you start acting?
That's a good question. I started out randomly in high school. That's when I kind of started, but I wasn't taking it seriously until probably college, when I went to be a business major, and I went and I did some economics classes, and this was just hell. I was like, I'd see the answer and I'd go, I think it's A. So I'll probably answer the opposite E, and then I'd get those right. So I was like, this is not my skill set.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is not, supply and demand. I'd always have them flipped the other way. It was it just didn't make it was illogical to me.
But did you learn on some level though that actually you are a business? Kind of you're kind of you.
Yeah.
At some point, you are.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball of wax. But but the whole concepts of business and it just doesn't interest me. And then I realized, all right, so I guess let me go act. Let me go do that whole thing.
Well, how do you do that? I mean, how old were you? When did you kind of start? Like, how did you just say I'm going to act? And what did you do first?
Well, I started auditioning. I mean, I said I'll go to school then, because I told my dad my dad didn't want me to go. Well, he wanted. I can't remember now.
I can't remember. I was like, did he want you to do it? Not want you to do it? What's going on?
He wanted me to be passionate about whatever I was passionate about. But I kind of had senioritis in my senior high school year, so I kind of I
don't know.
My grades went from high to definitely lower for the first semester. So my dad, I think, kind of punished me in terms of not being able to do what I wanted to do. So, but then I had that experience, and I was like, I got to go. Yeah, I want to go to school for acting. So then I applied to acting schools. And then started on that whole journey.
Wow. Where are you from?
San Diego.
Oh, so you're a California native.
Yeah, I'm a Navy brat.
Oh, Navy. Okay, very good. Well, down there, especially in San Diego.
Yeah, it's filled with them.
Yeah, I have family who are in La Mesa and down there. So I've been there. Yeah, I've been there many times. So when you started acting, Did you, when you started out, did you go out for like anything that came your direction, or was it kind of like, or were people leading you to a certain like thing? You look like this, you should go this way. How was that for you?
Sometimes I don't know whether to be honest on these things or not.
Always be honest. That's the answer. Always be honest.
I graduated from school, and I didn't know how to audition.
Yeah, who does? Like, you don't learn that. Yeah.
I was going out for series regular roles and bigger like film projects, and I think I just tanked because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to take a process where you get an audition like in a day and have to do it in 2 days and be like at the place I would be if I had 6 weeks of rehearsal from a play.
Got it.
So like, I've had to learn a healthy process, which I think so many actors, that they have to find a way to create a healthy process for themselves in terms of turning out material within a short period of time. So I crashed and burned, and then I was like, I got to go find some people to work with and figure out what I need to do in order to make this process work, because I know that one does, but this one,
that's smart.
Yeah, so I started slowly building back up.
Wow, I think very smart of you. Well, well, as you know, sometimes you have to crash to be successful. I mean, you learn more when you don't make it sometimes.
No, and
right?
100%, and that's like, that's grist for the mill, or failures become your success, and it's just you just keep going and you learn from them. And fortunately, I've had a lot of opportunities to keep learning and failing, and then getting successes too. But it's definitely it's a challenging road.
What is one of the things you learned from failure?
I learn from failure all the time.
That's good. It means the lessons are still going on. Then that's good.
Be prepared.
Not really. Be present, I guess, always in everything.
Be present. For me, it's like the harder thing is finding out. I'm more present when I'm less prepared.
Oh, how funny.
Or I'm more present when I'm really prepared. So it's in between where I often was lying in when I felt like I wasn't, when I don't do my best work.
Interesting.
Is when it's like I'm questioning a little bit or not, I can't get lost. Where I'm here, I can get lost, and here I get lost, which means for me I'm present in a way.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It makes sense though. It makes sense when you're saying that. I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, because here the first time you don't know anything.
Right.
So you have to like fly by the seat of your pants.
And be present with whoever you're
right, because you don't know
with.
Jack.
Right.
So and then here
you're prepared. So you can let yourself go because you know how to always get back. Right.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
Wow. What was one of the first things you ever did that you got paid for as an actor? If you can remember.
I did plays. The first thing I got paid for was I did a play at this theater in San Diego called Lamb's Players Theater. We did The Diviners, which is this beautiful play. It's about a small town. It's about like they had a water crisis, and these diviners, they are able to divine water. Like Lamb's Players is a theater that's kind of Christian themed, so most of their plays have a Christian base,
of faith and hope and all stuff.
Base, yeah. So I prefer more edgy fare myself. Yeah. But this is a good play. Yeah. It's a beautiful play. I knew of it before, so I was stoked. I got like $250 a week.
That's good.
Doing a play.
Hey, getting paid.
It was great.
Yeah, getting paid. Do you think back on those days? Because now we can look back on them, a little romantically a little bit. Did you think back and God, that was kind of an amazing time though? Like it was kind of you were just getting started and you're getting paid for something that you probably didn't know you could get paid for. I mean, like. Oh yeah, no,
it's awesome. You go, you get that check. Like you're on set, you're on stage, and you're working, and at the end of the day, you get a check, and you're like, oh my God, I got a check for acting. Yes. Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. It's like getting paid for what you. It's literally getting paid for what you love to do. Yeah. And there's nothing better.
Yeah.
I
agree with that.
At least for me, there's nothing better.
I agree with that. So Midnight Nocturne, let's talk about what that is for people out there who don't know what it is, because it's coming up soon. It's a movie you associate produced. What is the premise of the film?
Well, it's called Manhattan Nocturne, and it might be changed to Manhattan Night. I'm not exactly sure why, but they're looking at doing some changes. It's based on a book by Colin Harrison called Manhattan Nocturne, and it's about the dark, seedy underworld of publishing, of media in New York.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's kind of like the way Brian, when he talked to me about it a long time ago, it was kind of like it's a thriller noir, a new noir.
Okay, I like
so
that.
So he shot
Okay.
it with the extent of thinking of it from a noirish
Yeah.
type of feel. And it's like a beat reporter who Adrian Brody plays, and he gets caught up in this dark world and goes down the rabbit hole.
Oh, wow.
And then it changes his life.
I mean, a great actor, of course.
Yeah, no, phenomenal. And he does a great job in the movie, and then there's Yvonne Strahovski's in it.
I love her.
Yeah,
Oh, my
she's a
God.
sweetheart. Yeah.
I know she's in it. Oh, I love her. Oh, she's good, too. Look at that. Okay, very good. And do you play in the film, too?
Yeah, I'm in it. I play a friend of the other lead, or Yvonne's wife, who's played by Campbell Scott. He's like this auteur director who's kind of like, had films at Cannes, and he's just above the industry in a way where his movies are so arty and so good that he just doesn't give a crap.
Well,
right? Is that the word?
Yeah,
I'm allowed to
you say crap, poo, whatever.
Give a
Yes.
poo.
Yes. I guess you say poo. That's what I can say.
Give a poo.
Yes, give poo. Yes,
about it.
Yeah.
So he's on another level, and I'm a friend of his, and we go like party and cause trouble.
How was Campbell Scott? I mean, talking about, he comes from legendary acting parents, and he's been around for a long time himself. I mean, how was it with him?
Great dude. Super nice. He lives in New York. He's been in New York for, I think, most of his career.
Okay.
I think he was in LA for a while, and then it was like, I'm a New Yorker, I'm staying in New York, and he took a path that was more based on fulfillment of what he wanted.
Yeah, he'll do everything. He don't do everything. When he picks projects, you can tell like there's a reason for why he does a project.
Yeah, I think he's doing Noises Off on Broadway right now.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Yeah, fun play to do. But, he's a sweetheart. And I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but he has
Tell it.
The first time I met him, I went up to meet with Brian, and I had like a costume fitting, and he had to try these wigs on.
Okay.
Because his character has like longer hair than he does in different scenes, and he had a wig that was down to here.
Oh, wow.
It was straight hair like this, that he looked like that dude from Game of Thrones.
Oh, how funny!
Guy,
yeah.
Like it's parted in the middle, and it's like. I took this picture of Campbell sitting in the chair.
That's hilarious.
Just like this with the. So he's game.
Yeah,
That's what I love. He's an actor,
Yeah.
And those are the actors I love who are game for anything and willing to, go to the floor to do the best job they can. And he's amazing in the movie.
I'm excited actually.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
and
that.
I'm not sure when we'll be having a premiere of it, but I think the premiere will be in New York because it's based in New York and the whole thing. But then I know it's going to be released in LA and New York, and I'm not sure where else. So hopefully, if people like it enough, it'll get a bigger, wider release.
Theatrical release. That's great. I'm very excited. I need some more kind of noir thrillers these days. I haven't had any in a while.
Yeah. No, there haven't been.
No, I mean we need more of those.
That are also like I feel like that are also intelligent and deep and have adult themes versus just feeling like someone's being kidnapped and I gotta go save my kid.
Right.
Like it's like
I want twists and turns. I want to have to think. I want to think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna go. Oh, I thought maybe no, it's not her. Maybe it's not. I want that.
Yeah.
In a stylish sort of way.
Yeah. And you want to feel a little bit like kind of repulsed, but at the same time like intrigued and turned on.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. That's a good noir.
Yeah, it's been a while for those. Now you also we talked about changing our looks. Dyed your hair blonde in Carter and June, which is
chicken yellow.
Which it.
That's the
color.
That's what
on the box.
The guy who did it. His name's Marcos Gonzalez. Awesome.
Marcos Gonzalez.
Marcos.
But
yeah, I was like, they were like pitching me on the idea of like, hey, so are you open to having your hair, be blonde? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So then I go meet with him, and he starts putting those.
Yes, the foil.
Yes,
Love it.
And I'm like, what color is this going to be? He's like, chicken yellow. I'm like, great.
This is for Carter and June. It's the comedy. Okay, so well, first of all, what is this? What is it about, and why are you blonde?
It's a madcap comedy action heist.
Oh, funny. Okay.
Romp.
And there's a Carter and a June. Is that like that's what's going on?
And it's also a love story. Carter and June are like they used to be together, and now they're not. And it's about them getting together. Carter convincing June to help him on this one heist that could take them out of all their problems. She signs on, and wackiness ensues, really.
Okay.
And I'm like this guy who's, I guess, I mean, the way the director pitched it to me when we were on set was, your background is you used to be in your AA, you went to AA, and then you found God, but you also found a lot of attractive women in AA, and you were like, this is a good place for me to be. There's a lot of beautiful women who are looking for something, and I think I can supply that. So then it turned into I'm gonna start my own church.
Okay.
So then it turned into like AA. I found God, I found Jesus, but I don't like the way churches are in the South. They're too uptight. So I want to start my own church.
Yeah.
So then I go on to start my own church, and bringing my flock.
Yeah.
And having
That's
fun.
So funny. Oh my God.
So that's the whole thing is that I'm trying to angle to get this money from them,
Okay.
from the heist, so that I can start my own church.
Got it.
Really, it's also so I can make a living.
Yeah.
But do what I love and get.
Did
some
you
action
like
on
the blonde
side.
hair?
You know what? It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun, and I enjoyed. I kept it actually for like 3 weeks after I was
really?
done. I was done with the movie.
What do people say to you who know you, like your friends, kind of like, okay, I mean...
Most of them loved it. They
Okay.
they definitely were like,
Okay.
I liked you better with your brown hair, but it's but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You went, you tried something.
Yes.
Now go back. But I liked it, and I liked it because when you do something that people are a little shocked by, it just creates a different type of energy, and they look at you differently. So I was surfing a lot during that summer.
Ooh, your hair might stay blonde longer, didn't it?
Well, I left it blonde purposely,
Yeah.
and then people were definitely more scared of me in the water.
Oh, how funny.
So I'd be paddling, and there'd be a guy here. He'd back off because he'd be like, "I don't want to fuck with. I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess with the dude with his blonde hair because that's a punk rock guy, maybe who might,
How interesting.
So it was. So I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, and I knew it was temporary. You know what I mean? So I was
just
like,
hair.
rock, and so let's rock some temporary craziness.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Now we have folks who are watching, and I'll give a little shout outs. Yeah, and they actually
Where?
I actually asked the questions. They're watching. All these a million cameras
They're all
here. Gymnastic Peanut and Mackenzie Perkins. So I've already say hi. Do you know any of them?
No.
So there were people watching. I promoted this.
I'm getting
promoted
really
it.
red right now.
You are getting red.
I'm
People
totally
people are watching. So
I might know them, but I don't know that name.
we may not know them, but I mean, people actually. I mean, I promoted this. I have 14,000 Twitter followers. I promoted it out there, everybody.
Hot diggity dog.
So people are watching. They're asking questions. They asked well, how do you become an actor, which I did already, and when you start performing, which I already asked those already. So that's why I just would give them a little shout out.
Nice.
So people are watching
what,
live.
Gymnastic Peanut.
Gymnastic Peanut and
I like
Mackenzie
that one.
Perkins. I know Gymnastic
Mackenzie
Peanut.
Perkins. Gymnastic
I know it's a
Peanut.
great name.
That's
It's a
great.
great name.
That's great.
So I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, hi guys. Thanks for watching, you guys. We totally appreciate that. They're watching live. See.
Nice.
And in the ether. I know in the ether.
I have to figure out which camera I'm looking at. I gotta look at this.
That's your camera there.
That's my camera.
That's your
Okay.
camera there. So that's kind of cool. I mean, like I said, as an actor, you would want to kind of different looks. Do people actually, when you do movies, do they recognize you at all? Or they're like, I didn't see you. I missed you. Where were you?
That's a funny question. I'll say this because I have all this going right now.
Yeah.
I went to the premiere of I Saw the Light, and in that movie, I'm clean shaven with a totally different hairstyle, and there were some people at the after party who didn't know I was in the movie, who I'm friends with, who I was talking to, who I hadn't seen in a while, who didn't realize that I was in the movie, and then someone else would come up and, hey, congratulations, you were great in the film, and they're like, you were in the film? And I'm like, yeah, I did this role, and they're like, oh my God, that was you. You were
so
great.
funny. I love it.
So that's always fun, and it's always. It's sometimes it's a double-edged sword, but for the most part, I take it like, oh, that means I did a good job.
Yes, I'll say
And
right.
Slipped into something because it's definitely not. That's not the character that I play, and that's definitely not me.
No,
It's definitely some qualities and things I kind of simplified and honed in on in a way where I made it much simpler than I feel like I am in person, and much more focused in a way. So, I'll take that as a compliment.
Do you have to like your characters?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, good. Okay, you don't have
Yeah.
to. Okay, but do you find? So then, what do? Do you find some kind of common ground in there?
No, just the paycheck.
Hey, go on, folks.
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, hey, I'm like, that's real. That's real,
kidding.
kids.
No, I'm just
He's
kidding.
like, I just want the money, folks. That's it. That's it. Okay, thank you.
No, what was the question?
But do you have to like the characters, or do you just find some common ground and play them? I mean, some actors said they have to like, they have to fall in love with them or like them to play. Either bad to like them and play them. Is that yours, or you're like, nah, I just kind of find something to relate to?
It's all different. Yeah. Ideally, you find something to relate to. Is like, I'm going to turn this over here. Ideally, you want to find something you relate to. But, I feel like fortunately, the last few roles I've done, or the last like 5 or whatever roles I've done, most of them have been really cool parts or really cool characters that I innately am interested in. So it hasn't been something where I've had to find a way in a way that I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, being an actor in general, it's a beautiful. When you're working, it's an amazing experience, and when you're not, sometimes it's challenging. And you're auditioning, you're putting a lot of time and effort. At least I do. I put a lot of time and effort into my auditions, and you don't get jobs, and it can be frustrating. And I don't know what my point was.
Well, I mean, basically, is this your calling? Because when you have moments like that where you don't get the audition, or you don't work for a few months or 6 months, how have you stayed in? I mean, is it just a calling for you? Like this is it?
No, I think I stay in by trying to find things that are bigger than acting in a way.
Oh, okay.
So like for me, I surf, and if you ever talk to any of my friends, they'll all tell you that they know I surf, and I surf partly because it's like my sanity, because I go surf and then I get perspective that it all doesn't matter, and I'm out there in nature, and it's like it's spiritual for me. I'm seeing dolphins swimming, and I'm seeing waves crashing, and I'm surfing them, and it just helps me recalibrate.
It's funny. I have a garden in my backyard I've been working on.
That's
and
exactly
same thing. The other day I was just filled with stress of just booking this and doing that and doing this. I went out in the backyard within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I felt better.
Totally.
And my bougainvillea is growing in, and my lemon trees coming. I'm like just like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. 100%.
And I'm sure it's surfing because you have to pay attention. You're in there with the water. It could be your friend, and you need the water to surf, but it can also be an enemy on some level.
Oh, it's terrifying when Mother Nature wants to give you a little kiss. Yeah, no, I mean, you can surf big waves, or you get, there's hairy situations you can get into quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've never seen like sharks or anything. I've seen tons of dolphins. I've seen tons of seals, and I've had dolphins like literally jump in front of me where you are. I'm on my board, and the dolphin will just jump and scare the heck out of me. But it was exhilarating,
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love it.
Wow. Now you also, because I said this guy is busy. You do all kinds of stuff. In addition to you, also on a TV show is coming up, Queen of the South.
Yeah.
We talked just briefly, and you said you did 3 episodes of that.
Yeah, I did.
And what was your character in that one?
Okay,
that's USA Network.
I play this guy. His name's Russell, and he's an immigration lawyer. Yeah, and the whole show is based. It's mostly based on the world of drugs in mostly Hispanic. It's
a remake of La Reina del Sur, which was Kate Del She did that show.
It was a telenovela. Actually, when I auditioned, they had me do like a scene where I had to do it in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
And fortunately, I'm fairly bilingual. It's
San Diego, California, it's all kind of,
And my mom's practicality reared its beautiful head when I was like in junior high, fifth grade.
Okay.
And she was like, you should learn a language. And she's like, learn Spanish. It's close by. It'll help you one day.
Yeah. It helps. Oh, good.
And I took it straight, and I learned basically 10 years of Spanish.
So.
And I used to go, my mom and I and my brother used to go to Mexico a lot when we were kids. She'd
down there,
She'd take us down there, and we'd go fishing and stuff.
Oh, fun. Okay, yeah.
So I had to audition and do this, which I haven't even used yet, but I haven't used the Spanish yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But it's this dude who's like a lawyer who, maybe USA will hate me for this, but I'll say it anyway.
Say it anyway.
Who's kind of not a great dresser.
Oh, not a great dresser.
Kind of a little. He thinks he's better than he is.
Oh, how funny! I
like
that.
He's a little outdated.
Okay, he's a legend in his own mind.
Yeah, a legend in his own mind. He's got a huge place that is not my taste.
Yes,
but it's the character's taste,
I love
it's a little, it's a little all over the place. I'll show you some. Maybe I'll show you some pictures.
Yeah,
but
that's hilarious.
And I have a pretty big Coke addiction.
Hey, okay.
Which is always fun.
Back to the 80s.
So every scene I've done, I'm like,
that's so funny. So what do they use for? I forgot. I know they use different things. What do they use for those scenes? Well, obviously it's not really Coke.
Yeah, they use. What do they use? Well, the first time they told me that it was B12.
Oh, how funny.
And I got definitely a little buzz on.
Oh, I'm sure B12 anyway. You do, but that's kind of that's funny. Like, I'm ready. My next scene. I'm ready.
I was like, after the 5th snort, I was like, I'm starting to feel something.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks,
this
nature.
Is nice. And then the last scene we did, I asked them again, what was it? But they told me it was sugar. Sucrose.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
So. And I got a different high from that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
well, talk about sugar rush.
I prefer the B12. I think
I think I would think
because
so
I was
too.
like, oh. So, but yeah, but it's been fun, and all my scenes so far have been with. Am I allowed to say things are in advance of something that's being shown?
I don't know. It depends. So I don't want you to get you in trouble. So just. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. Wants you to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of work with Alicia Braga, who's awesome.
Yes, she's been in other things. I've seen her in other things.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Yeah. So a lot of we start developing a relationship because she needs me for certain things.
Okay.
And so
you guys watch it. It's going to be good. It's going to be USA. It's coming
fun.
up this thing later on this year.
It's fun. It's violent. It's sexy. It's dirty. It's
we like all that.
Crazy.
Oh, we like all that.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
And then lastly, of course, you're doing Free State of Drones, which is a Civil War drama. Yeah. And what do you play in that?
I play Farmer Number 2.
I played that before too on a movie before. It's crazy.
Farmer number
2. Hey, you got paid, right?
There's a farmer number 1.
Well, who cares about farmer number 1? It's about him.
But it's cool. It's a cool scene. I'll say that. It's a scene. It's a scene with Matthew McConaughey, and he has this kind of he has a speech that he's trying to enlist all the fellow farmers. He's a farmer, and we're all part of this small community of farmers, sharecroppers, farmers, and so there's a couple of us who support him in his speech, and that's kind of what that. Wow. So it's a small scene in it, but it's good.
Look at Matthew. Hello.
Yeah. So, and watching him, he's a very good actor.
Plus, somebody who's been around a long time too.
Yeah, and he has a skill set that I was very impressed by.
Oh wow!
Watching, it's just like he had just won, I think last year. The year before he had won
the Oscar
for why am I blanking?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. Which is an amazing film. He was incredible in that.
Yeah.
But to watch him work and just kind of be in a place where he was like in this place, free. Not thinking when he needs to, and then being free, and every take was different. I was impressed.
How do you keep it fresh after all these years? For you, well, I guess surfing is one thing. Obviously, that's something you do.
How do I keep it fresh? I was going to say something really crass, but I decided not to.
That's for Spotlight on After Dark.
Yeah, that's
a whole different show. That's a whole different show. That's a whole different show.
I walk around
I can walk around. I can think about what you could be possibly saying, and that's a good one too. Good for you.
I run my lines in certain ways.
Yeah, okay, that works.
Keep it fresh.
That's what you got to do. I understand that one.
No, but that is a good question. How does, and it's a question every actor deals with.
Yeah.
How do you keep something fresh? And for me, I feel like keeping it fresh is about getting present.
Like that.
Getting present in a way where I'm aware of things that are much more highly sensitive and more subtle than I'm normally aware of. And then when I'm in that place, then I'm picking up on things that are different than the moment before, so I'm innately already there.
That's good.
So but it takes work, and it takes practice, and it takes diligence, because it also takes a level of focus in order to sustain it.
To be an active listener is not always easy. And when you're present, you become an active listener, right?
Yeah.
That's one of those things. And you're right. It's something you have to kind of learn.
Yeah. It's a practice.
You have to kind of learn. I learned it as I got older. I didn't have it when I was younger, but I learned it as I got older.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things. So
yeah, they told me back then.
They told you heard. I thought you did there. I thought you did there. God, everybody's a jokester. It's my show. Just kidding. That's great. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Now, like I said, you work on 8 million different things. But right now, I Saw the Light is going to be in theaters April 1st everywhere. Mm-hmm. So you'll see him directly in that first.
And if you go see it, remember, I don't look like this. I'm clean shaven. I got like slick back hair.
Oh, really?
Or parted, like 50s, 40s style. So I'm shouting out to you people right now. But enjoy it. It's a great film. It's really good acting, and it's a story that people should know because he's a huge American icon in terms of music, in terms of art, and it's a part of our history. It's part of our cultural fabric as Americans.
I completely agree with that statement, so that's good. Now tell folks where they can actually find you on social media.
Oh, okay. I am on Instagram at Will Beinbrink. And I am on Twitter at Will Beinbrink.
Good man.
And yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Don't go anywhere else. Leave it at that. No, we'll give his home address. No, we're not doing that right now.
Email is
Will. All right, so you guys, that was an edition of Spotlight On with Will, and I'm so glad he was here with us today. And I will see you next time. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube and iTunes under AfterBuzz TV. You can find all these different Spotlight Ons. I do a bunch of them. And you can follow me at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms in the whole entire universe. I will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.